both of you. Offense playing better last couple games. What's changed?
I think we're just all finding our rhythm. We're creating a lot of space for each other. We're playing for each other. We're just honestly just making the right plays. So, coach, emphasized a lot in practice. A lot of us can get into the paint and drive, but a lot of guys are trying to collapse and block our shots, but there's guys that are wide open. So the more that we pass the ball, we've realized that we can put a lot more points up on the board. But then as well, just defensively, we've been playing a lot better defensively, so we've been able to get in transition a lot more. So we're just feeding off of each other, and that's what we just got to continue doing.
A lot more movement without the ball. That's been something I know coach has probably been saying all along, and now you guys are starting to do it more.
Yeah, it was definitely, I feel like we just changed up our approach to the games, and approach to practice also. I feel like, we created a motto, do or die. You either do it or you die, suffering the consequences that come after a loss, And it's not easy consequences, so it's like, we just are like, we don't want to do anything much harder than we have to do, So let's do it right, and if we're not gonna get it right, well, the next time we're not gonna repeat the last mistake. So that's kind of how we just changed it.
I noticed they played zone most of the game. They switched it up at the very end, but did that cause you guys to make adjustments on offense?
Not at all. We were prepared going along the weekend. We knew that they were going to play 1-3-1, 2-3 to kind of slow us down. I know that they're short a couple guys, so I know our press is a factor, so they're going to get tired. So an easy way for them to stay in the game is playing zone. But we worked on a lot of it this weekend, and guys were ready to hit shots and get in the middle of the paint and just create. So it wasn't much of a big deal for us.
And it feels like last 3 or 4 games, not that you won them all, but do you guys feel like you're attacking the rim now better than you have all season?
For sure, a lot better. It's crazy too. When you have Oz out there as well, like he's a guy that a five man that can like stretch it out as well. So, we could play 4 out in one end, we could play 5 out in one end, but we're just playing the right way, and we're just being aggressive, but we're doing it smart and efficiently. And I know early in the year we kind of got in there without a proper approach in terms of like, are we going to finish, are we going to pass? But now we're playing off of 2 and we're just making smarter decisions. A lot of us have been going in watching film with coach, and like I said, he's been emphasizing a lot in practices. So we're just trying to go out there and implement in the game.
Last question is, I felt like tonight was one of the most complete defense efforts you had all year. Is that a fair statement?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like we definitely took defense personal, and that's what really separates the game from every other game. When you start actually taking it personal, we always have this pack when we're rounding up, getting ready for the jump ball. It's like first person gets scored on is 15. Like everybody else 15 hours. So it's like you don't want to be the person to give out the 15 hours. But we definitely take it personal. We've locked in, and we kind of just feed off of JV's energy. He's a great defensive guy.
Sure.
So it's like if he's stopping his man from scoring, what's stopping us from stopping our man from scoring?
Right. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And staying on the defense, it seems like you guys are cutting down on the fouls.
Yeah.
Greg, especially you've had a lot of trouble with that. Now you're getting more minutes because you're able to stay on the floor. What's changed there?
Oh man, I just
or is that a trick question?
Before I was averaging whatever I'm averaging in points, I was averaging a double with fouls. So I was 4 fouls in the first half guy. It changed because I would like to play in the game. I was tired of being taken out. And I'm sitting there like, why am I being taken out? Like, why am I being taken out? I'm realizing like there's 4 fouls on the board. So, one more and there won't be any more getting back in. So I just take it personal to like, I'm going to wall up. I'm going to let my defender, like, I'm going to give him an impression that he's not stronger than me. So he's not going to force the issue. And so it's been working.
Same question to you, actually, because you had some foul trouble early in the year, too.
Yeah. I guess I just got to credit the refs. They've been a little bit more lenient. And just for me, it's just kind of just being less aggressive, and then just understanding, how to be effective defensively without, kind of putting my hands or, bodying up. And like I said, Coach has emphasized it a lot to me in practice because, personally, I would like to play out there. And, I'm taking myself out of games, essentially, just being in foul trouble. So just kind of being more just wise. And, you know, I mean, this is my 5th year in college, so like just understanding how the reps and how the games have been played and whatnot, and just watching a little more college games, just understanding has helped me a lot more.
And then piggybacking off of what he was saying too, also, I think we brought in a little bit more too, as far as knowing that, you know, every first attempt from a defender is not going to be a block shot for us. You know, maybe it's just a stunt, get him off his rhythm, and then the next guy comes and help. You know, so I think we really believed in that philosophy a lot more, which has definitely helped us stay out of fouls. So.
Greg, just one other thing. You've had 2.5 months now to adjust from JUCO to D1. Do you feel like you're really getting there now? After 2.5 months, you're making that full adjustment?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I feel like you know, this is where I belong, and you know, I do this, so I feel like you know, it was either gonna adjust or, you know, fall down. You know, and I'm not the type of guy to just stay down and lay down. So, you know, I feel like adjusting the game and really just adjusting from the mental aspect of it. You know, and realizing that certain things that happen in JUCO don't happen in D1.
Right.
You know, and certain things that might work in JUCO don't work here.
Right.
So playing off of 2 was definitely the one that really like changed everything for me. You know, I'm always a guy where I get one quick dribble, I want to take off on one, and it's not always the smartest move. So definitely the adjustment has definitely been great for me.
Great job.
Yeah, do you have any concerns about Canisius taking a slight lead early on in the first half?
Nah, I mean, you know, basketball games are all about runs. So essentially, you just got to break it down 4x4 just with immediate timeouts. And so we knew that they were going to make a run, but it's like, I mean, it's just about adversity. Are we going to just let them continue going on the run, or are we going to get on our own run? And I know Coach had actually emphasized it in one of the timeouts. At one point, they had, I think, 19 points with like 10 minutes left in the first half. So I mean, they were on pace to score 80, and I think the next immediate timeout, I think they only had scored 6 or 8 points. So from there, we were just like, all right, cool. We got to get a lot more defensive stops, and that will help us offensively, and that's what essentially happened. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Great job.
appreciate you guys.
Go ahead.
All right, good win to start the weekend off. I thought we weren't quite as urgent defensively the first like 10 minutes or so. I think they had 20 points the first 10 minutes, and we actually started guarding, started rebounding. Press got going a little bit, forced the tempo, and good to get a win. You know, I mean, you got to win at home. Have to win at home, and you know, obviously we know Canisius is down some guys, and a lot of respect for them and how good they are, and it's tough to play without certain guys. So it's good for us to win and do what we had to do, and we're getting better. But you know, we got bigger things ahead of us, hopefully.
Offense seems to be making some strides lately. It's a lot more. I think today might have been the first time that we had 4 guys in double figures.
Yeah.
What's changed in your mind?
I mean, when we pass the ball, we score. You know, we just can't. That's I mean, 17 assists, 8. We've been very, very good on not turning the ball over. So that part's been good. Like to make the extra pass, to hit the open man. I mean, I just love the fact like Wesley had an open layup, gave the ball to Greg for a dunk. Like that was just that unselfishness. It becomes contagious. So we're starting to get a better feel for that. You know, we all know when we put our heads down and try to do things one-on-one, we get in trouble offensively. We share the ball, move the ball. We're a pretty good offensive team. We're not a great offensive team, but we're a pretty good offensive team. And I thought we did that more tonight. So definitely making progress. I can feel we're getting better. Like I thought we had a good week of practice. I felt like the guys are starting to take a little more ownership of the team, and we're starting to make strides. So hopefully we can keep that going.
And movement without the ball seems to be better the last couple games as well. I know it's something you and I talked about a few times over this.
Yeah.
So now, are they finally getting it? Is that what
I think
is?
so, yeah. I think so. You know, my motion offense is hard. Like most guys are used to setting a ball screen, just kind of standing and playing off the ball screen. So we're having to, you know, play a little bit differently than they're used to. And I think we're getting a better feel for you know, like we don't have one guy who's going to go out and dominate and score 25 every night. That's just not us. So we have to share the ball and get the ball to the open man and play unselfishly. And when Joel Brown, I thought set a great tone tonight. I mean, he was terrific. He has 12.7 assists, no turnovers. Yeah. I mean, his assist to turnover thing is incredible. You know, and like Joel knows who he is. Like he won't take a bunch of threes. He'll take probably shot 1 3, maybe probably 1 for 1 from 3, right? I mean, that's great, you know, which is awesome. So we take sometimes bad twos, like we're getting the lane and force tough twos, and those are the hardest shots. If you go by analytics and what people, you know, judge a good shot or a bad shot by, those are the hardest shots. Those shots around the basket with 2 guys coming. We take a lot of those. We're trying to take less of those. You know, that's just, it's a learning process. It's watching film process, and we're getting better. But you know, Guy, I don't ever feel like we've. You know, I hope we're getting better and turn the corner. We'll see. Sunday will be a whole. You know, we just have to get used to that all the time. You know, I do think. I'm optimistic in the fact that I think we are getting better. And I think we're starting to understand a little bit how we have to play. So, I mean, I thought the press was a major factor tonight. I thought the press, we turned them over a bunch of times. I thought our half-court defense was pretty good tonight. So, we weren't great in transition defense, but I think we're making strides in a lot of different areas.
All right. With the 2 victories over the past week, do you think there's any key strategy that should come into play with continuing it? We went to the weekend.
We haven't won 3 in a row all year long. We haven't won 3 games in a row the whole season. We all know that, right? To win the MAC championship, you got to win 3 in a row, or maybe 4 in a row, right? So it'll be nice to win 3 in a row. You know, I mean, we've been a team and a program and a staff that's been like so much consumed with each day that it's hard to really look at like, hey, you've won a couple, you lost a couple. We know now we've won a couple in a row. We're starting to play better. Now we got a big game on Sunday at Quinnipiac, who just beat Siena, and I think they're first in the conference now. Probably the most talented team I've seen on film. We haven't seen them in person, obviously. So we got a big challenge on Sunday against a really good, experienced, older team. And so I think we'll have a few more answers maybe on Sunday as we go forward.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but yeah, I hope so. You know, be nice to win a few in a row.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Life's a lot easier when you win a few games in a row. I can tell you that much. So I know my wife would be happy, my kids would be happier. So we'd all be happier. Guy would be happier. We'd all be happier. Brian would be happier. We'd all be happier.
Oh, yeah.
Tobin, did you expect them to play zone most of the game today?
I knew when they were down, the kid Semi, the big kid they have who's a guard, is a really good player. I knew that kind of hurt their depth a little bit, so I thought they might play some zone. We haven't been great against zone all year long, so it was good for us to play against it. And once again, we were not consistent against it. We were good one possession, bad the next possession. It's got to be more consistent. But I thought we started to get into a flow a little bit as the half went along and got used to it. But yeah, they're big and they're physical. So I thought this was probably something we might. So we were ready for it. And I thought we did a good job at times. But, you know, we're not great yet. We're progress.
So can it feel like the offense now, I'm like watching Alabama. Like you're attacking the rim or you're shooting threes. No more like 2-point jump shots.
That's kind of how, without me saying that, it's kind of how it's got to be. Like, unless you're an unbelievable mid-range shooter, like you want to get layups and threes, right? Great threes and great layups. And like, you know, at the start of the year, we took a lot of bad twos. Like I was just telling guys. So I think we're doing a better job of that. I don't want to take away guys from shooting. Like we had guards at FDU last year who could make those twos. Like we didn't say, hey, don't shoot those twos, but it's got to be a good mid-range jumper. So I don't know what our percentage was tonight. Better the second half, I think, right? Yeah, I mean, it's still not great, but like we're 10 for 27 from 3, which is pretty good from 3. So I'm not a math guy. Brian's a math guy, so we'd be 15 for 34. Is that right?
Just under 50.
Yeah, so we got to be better from 2. You know, you're gonna shoot them. We missed a lot of layups again. You know, it's like sometimes you get in there, like you got to make those things. We got an and one. I told the guys all year long, I said, you know, you can get an and one where you actually make the basket and get fouled. You can do both because in practice a lot of times they'll bitch about a foul, and I'll say, you know, you can make the shot even though you got fouled, and they give you an extra free throw. And that's a 3-point play, the old-fashioned way. You know, Joe Brown got an and one tonight. It was like we should have should be like confetti in the air and streamers and stuff like that. 'Cause we don't get a lot of and ones. Like we don't. So like, go finish, make the shot, and go get a free throw. That'd be great. Hopefully as time goes on, we'll get more of those.
Great job.
Was your rotation tonight maybe what you thought it would be in October, and you finally
A little bit,
got there?
yep. I think a little bit was. I think like Sultan. We kind of said today, like we got to trust Sultan. I think his you know, he started for us for the first 9 games, and we're kind of like cutting his minutes and not playing him and not trusting him enough. We just said, listen, Sultan's been good. We got to trust Sultan. We got to play him through mistakes, and I thought he played better too. So like he's got to be a factor for us. He's just too big and physical, and he's had experience. You know, he was good. JQ was good. Weza was good. You know, Terrell, that other spot, then there's the 9th spot. Like Saunders didn't play tonight, Isaac Bryce, and Terrell Williams. One of those 3 guys has got to step up for us, you know? Because then you go 9 deep. Then that's a pretty good, you can go 9 deep and have a pretty good rotation, right? So, you know, but we got to be more consistent. I mean, I didn't like the first like 10 minutes or so. They kind of were a little more physical than us. I mean, then we got him adjusted to it and played better.
Yeah, I think they had 0 turnovers at the 10-minute
Yeah,
mark.
that's what Tom said too. It's like kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
well, if you can't score, you can't press, right? So that's part of the deal. And we got to score to press, and then, you know, the press sometimes it takes a while to get used to what they're trying to do. So we were just kind of sloppy there. We kind of rotate behind and stuff. But we got it going a little bit, which is good. You know, I mean, I think we're finding out how we have to win. You know, which is good to know. But it's, you know, it is getting almost close to February, so.
Greg talked about his improvements. What's your take on his evolution from
Great.
early?
He's really come on. Like he's really as a basketball player, as a person, as a guy that pro. He's really starting to listen better, start to communicate better with his teammates, with us too. We've done a better job. I mean, I think early on, my expectations for him are probably a little bit higher than they should have been, considering where he came, his background. Like just hoping he would adjust quicker. I thought, and you saw him play at Charleston. You saw him play early. Like, well, man, he could be one of the best players in this conference right now. That's probably not a realistic thing. Like, so he's gotten better. We've had to be a little more patient with him, watch a little more film. But he's been coming in doing extra stuff. He's like a freshman. Like he just physically he's not a freshman, but like his basketball background is like a freshman. So it takes a lot, and he wants to do well. He wants to learn. He needs constant reminders. And Greg's got a free flowing mind. Like he might go do something you've never seen before, like just for no reason at all. And like, no, we don't need to do that. Just stay calm and just do what we want to do. He wants to go make. He went trapped in the first half. He went trapped one time. Like, why did you trap? Well, he just thought that would be a good thing to do. Like, no, it's not. There's times, but like I think in our program he's good because we give guys freedom to make plays. He's getting better, right? So it's like if I just say, Greg, you have to go from point A to point B, he won't ever get better at the stuff in between. Like, listen, basketball's a game that's played in between. A lot of transition and stuff. There's 4-on-3s, 5-on-4s, things like that. He's really good in that part. So we just let him make decisions and get better at that. He's made huge strides. I'm actually really proud of how he's playing. He's just talking more and more engaged.
Is one of his most areas of making strides the press? Seems like he's playing a much bigger role.
Yep. The press, learn when to trap, when not to trap. Like he likes to trap. Like he might trap. Like you walk in your car later on tonight. Like he likes to trap everything. So it's like there's being judicious and when you go, when you not go. If guys having problems handling the ball, like don't go trap a guy who's in trouble. Let JB and JQ work those guys and wait for a chance to go. So he's got to be a little bit. That part's gotten better. And then just defensively, being more sound. He makes before he'd make a great play and then he'd make a bad play. He's starting to make more like a 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 ratio now of that stuff. And he's also, offensively figuring out where he can score from, So no, he's made strides. And I thought Oz was good again tonight. Like I don't know what his numbers were like, but he made an impact. He missed some shots early on he usually would make, but he made an impact, So that was good to see. I mean, the turnovers are great. I mean, I'm not, we haven't turned the ball over much at all this whole year, which is terrific. So we just got to finish better around the basket. And what was our free throw shoot? I get texts about, everybody's texting me about our free throw shooting. Like I'm not at the game or something. Like I have no idea what the hell's going on. What do you do when you don't make free throws? I mean, we work out, we practice it, like we do all that stuff. It's just like,
Got a good rank on Ken Palm on not turning it over.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, Kim Palm. I go on Kid Pop and I find out what the results are supposed to be 10 games in advance. I'm like, I don't want to see the results in the 10 games. I don't need to see that. Let's just try to get the next one,
I told the guys on the Iona message board I was going to ask you what was going on with Farias.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't work out, so it just hasn't worked out off the court, on the court, the whole thing. So we wish him well. He was, happy to have him here for the first semester, but he will not be part of the program going forward. Okay. So, it just didn't work out for reasons that, sometimes it's not all one-sided. It's both ways. Just didn't work out, and I wish him the best. Hope he works out wherever he goes next and gets better. But we took him late, and I thought he had a chance. I still he has a chance to be a good player. So we wish him well, and hopefully he can get himself to another program and do well someplace else.